Welcome to Gen Z Hoops, the Gen Z basketball, coaching, and sports business show. On this podcast, you'll learn from professional players, coaches, and executives from all over the world and see the court in a brand new way. And now, joining you courtside, your Gen Z host, John Hartofilis.
Welcome to the first ever live episode of Gen Z Hoops here at Thomas & Mack Center. We're here live with courtesy of Ryan Gentry and Albert Hall being so gracious to give us this space. But I'm joined here by my guest, Peter Evans, for a really special episode. We'll be doing this stuff live. Peter does some really cool things with analytics for the Knicks, for this new company, Tipoff, that he started. And I'm really just excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here, John.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just opening all the cool stuff in analytics and all this awesome basketball stuff that you're doing. I mean, first tell us, we met through LinkedIn, right, coming to Summer League. We just tried to mention, hey, I'll be here too. But what got you here?
Actually, it's kind of a funny story. Another guy on LinkedIn reached out to me to do an interview, and I saw that my name was, I was supposed to be speaking but attending an event at Summer League. And I actually wasn't supposed to be attending the event, so I called up that company, and they said, all right, yeah, we can get you to Summer League. And got to take the opportunity.
No, of course. The nice credential and being able to experience everything here firsthand, whether it's in TNM, whether it's in Cox. I mean, you can walk out of the arena, you're bound to bump into somebody you know or somebody in the industry,
for sure.
Which is so cool. But, I mean, tell us a little bit of how you maybe got started. I mean, was it something with all these, with the numbers when it comes to basketball, was it always a passion for you? Like, how did that all kick off for you?
Right. So, I mean, I played a little bit in high school. I played fanatically in college. I played pickup 5 or 6 days a week. But like everyone that works in basketball, or I think most people wanted to play and weren't good enough. So just like that, I wasn't good enough. But I was great at math. So freshman year of college, I decided to be a math major, specifically to go into sports analytics.
It's cool. So, I mean, talking about going into sports analytics right while you were in college, I mean, what were some of those classes you were taking? Like, how did that really open your mind to, wow, there's something I could do with this after I graduate?
Right. So I was a math and stats major, and the classes were fine, but honestly, what really helped me was doing side projects. So I was a Cavs fan. So freshman year, I remember in my dorm, I was writing out all the Warriors lineup combos to see if we could beat them. And it was 2016, so we did. But so I would do kind of fun projects like that on the side. And then what really helped me kick it off was a basketball analytics class I took with Dean Oliver my junior year of college. Oh,
so that sounds awesome. And tell us a little about that class. I mean, Dean Oliver obviously is a pioneer when it comes to all things sports analytics. And he's out here walking around in Summer League. I mean, what did you maybe learn from him in that class? How'd that all play out?
Yeah, he was, he's a visionary, obviously. Very interesting guy to talk to. He walked us through his entire book, his thought process. So, it kind of just gave me the confidence to kick off my professional career in basketball and use him as a resource throughout the class and afterwards.
Awesome. What maybe opportunities did things look like for you right after school? I saw you did some work with the Pacers. Mm-hmm. How did maybe those internships in the analytics field, as it started growing, how did those maybe shape up?
Right. Yeah. So it was first semester of my senior year of college, and I was like, all right, I just finished this class with Dean, and now how do I turn this into more professional? So I just started looking around online, and a Pacers internship popped up and an ESPN internship popped up. And I applied to both of them, and I forgot about the Pacers because it took about a month for them to get back. And I made it to the final round of ESPN and didn't get that and was super bummed. And then the Pacers ended up coming around, and that worked out and was way better for me. So, it all kind of just fell together. I got lucky, like a lot of people.
No, of course, and it's super cool, right, thinking about that opportunity. But you mentioned, applying to it. And obviously, right, for everyone listening, everyone that's coming to Summer League trying to network, everyone knows the process of going on Teamworks Online or LinkedIn and applying to all these things. What did that look like? What did that process look like for you? How did you apply to those things?
Right. I just Googled NBA internships, and the Pacers popped up, or basketball internships in general, and ESPN and the Pacers popped up. But for me, it's not really about the networking, bumping into people. It's what's going to get you far is that it's a passion. And you're out here because you're passionate about it, and you really want to do it more than anything else. And then the networking all falls in place from there.
So, whether it's an internship there, or what you did with Miami, how did those all maybe give you the skills to go off and do other things in your professional career once you started getting those jobs? Those internships maybe with the Pacers. Right. What were you doing in your day-to-day that led to everything later on?
Right, yeah. So at the Pacers, I was a performance analytics intern with my boss was Sean Wendell, head of the strength and conditioning staff over there. Great guy. He's been a great mentor to me. And day-to-day, it would be going to practices, analytics, for the performance staff, for the coaching staff, and then, some ad hoc stuff on the side for the front office. And it was just really getting your foot in the door and trying to learn everything about the business.
It's funny you mentioned Sean Whittle. He's someone I actually reached out to on behalf of X2 Performance way back when. He might be coming on the show soon. Who knows? We've been talking a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But it's funny, right, bringing up guys in that analytics field. Maybe he's doing some like strength and conditioning. You really wouldn't see where does that fit in with analytics, but there's so much, right, that he can fit in.
It's really cool because maybe some people wouldn't assume that analytics has a lot to do with it, but Sean is a very forward-thinking guy, and so it was a really cool opportunity to learn from him and kind of take an alternative approach.
No, definitely. And then did a lot of stuff with Miami, right? You got to school there, but I saw that you went back there shortly after, right, in the middle of that Pacers job. After graduating, what did that look like for you going back to school and still doing stuff in analytics there? Did that kind of broaden your horizons even more?
Right. So I actually left school. I didn't finish my undergrad. I dropped out for a semester to do the Pacers internship.
Got it.
And a lot of people thought that was risky, but to me, that was a no-brainer. And coming back, I had this credibility, and I went up to the Miami coaching staff, Jack Owens, amazing coach, J.R. Reynolds, shout out to them, and with my credibility, and we liked each other, so they allowed me to start kind of building out a basketball infrastructure, analytics infrastructure for them.
That's so cool. I'm thinking about that. That's a huge risk in thinking about that. But right, for you, you said it was a no-brainer. Can you maybe talk about, right, when you were weighing those pros and cons, a big decision time, but to you was a no-brainer. What made you think that was a no-brainer? And obviously you took advantage of it, and it worked out for you in the end.
It was actually an accident. So it was fall, and I thought I was applying to summer internships. And then I found out that it was in the spring. And so I thought about it for like 5 minutes. I was like, do I want to leave my last semester of college? And then after like 5 minutes, of course I do. Come on, it's the Pacers.
That's cool, right? And I was taking that opportunity, going full swing, doing that. And while doing that, I noticed, and you told about it right before we got on the show, we were watching a game together about Tipoff, right? And you kind of started it in the midst of that Miami thing, in the midst of all that Pacers stuff, doing your own thing, having that entrepreneurial spirit, and starting your own thing, having your own your own baby to kind of like see that thing grow. What did that look like for you in being entrepreneurial and starting your own venture?
Right. So I graduated a semester late, which was in January of 2020, so right at the beginning of COVID. And so, a lot of jobs weren't hiring at the time, or hard to get a job, and I was just leaving Miami with these cool reports that I built out for them. And I thought, if Miami loved it, maybe other schools would love it. So I started trying to streamline what I did so I could reach a mass audience of all these D1 colleges.
Awesome. You talk about going the college route and doing stats for all of them. How does that actually with Tipoff? What does that look like?
My whole thing is that it's simple, useful, and about basketball. So nice. All the analytics, I don't try to do anything fancy. I don't try to make it too complicated. I wanted to make it what coaches are always thinking about when they're watching game film. Is this guy going left or right? In a pick and roll, when he passes, is he trying to hit a cutter, or is he trying to hit a spot-up guy? So I try to do the stats that the coaches are thinking about so it can be supplemental to watching game film and just be really simple and easy to implement into a college program.
Now, are there any schools maybe that already jumped onto it? How have you maybe been seeing that take form on the court in these first year or so of having it go live?
Right. So I was doing it for about 4 months and that's when I was building it out, and it was going great. And then I took a job with the Knicks at the same time, so it slowed down Tipoff. But I worked informally with 10-ish teams during March Madness, and they were reaching out to me, what kind of stats can you give me on the spot for these upcoming games? That's another thing we do. We just make it really easy for quick turnaround games. And then heading into this off season and into the beginning of next season, we're going to be picking up more teams formally.
So cool, right? You mentioned the Knicks job. You have that really nice Knicks polo on. Walking around, someone's like, "Oh, you work for the Knicks." Like that's obviously really cool to talk about. What did that job with the Knicks look like? Obviously, the Pacers was really cool. You had all these cool opportunities, but like the new, me being a New York guy, right? Nothing stands out more than that.
Right.
So what did that opportunity look like? How'd you end up there, and how'd that play out?
For sure. So one of my best friends and mentors, Kelsey Roberts, we interned at the Pacers together. She's a couple years older than me, and she got a job with the Knicks probably about a year ago. And 4 months in, they were really looking for some members to help build out their analytics team quickly. So they brought me and another guy on as contractors to help build out the team, build reports, and I've been there for about 8 months.
Obviously, in these last 8 months that you've been there, they've had a lot of success. I got to witness it firsthand, being the 4 seed, right? That 9-game win streak, it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. You being there, maybe on the team, right, being a part of that. What was that all like for you, and seeing maybe what you saw on paper take form on the court?
Yeah, it was really cool. One of my best friends is a giant Knicks fan, so I've heard all the woes throughout the years, and it's been 8 years since we made the playoffs, and so coming on just at the right, I really got lucky that I came on at the same time as all these other great members of the team came on. Julius Randle obviously had an amazing season, so it was cool to come on at a time where we were so good.
Oh, definitely. And then, right, you mentioned Tipoff maybe slowing down once you took the Knicks job, but I mean, how do you look to maybe ramp that up as we come out of the summer, right? Maybe the season might be coming up soon. What might that look like for you, kickstarting Tipoff even more?
Right. So I'm looking to build out my team over at Tipoff. One of the reasons I'm out here at Summer League is just to find a bunch of people that love basketball. I mean, that's my biggest thing. If you're passionate and this is what you really want to do, I mean, you'll figure it out. So yeah, that's the first step, is just finding some passionate members who want to get into basketball analytics. Lastly, I want to give out one more shout out to Nick Slater, who when I was getting the Pacers internship, he was really he was full-time over there and really integral in actually allowing me to get the job. And now he's over at the Knicks and one of the best guys in the NBA that I know.
No, right, really cool thinking about that, and right, everyone that helped you out along the way. But now, right, still being so young, still having so much time to keep on going this basketball journey. Summer League's right, a great, really uplifting place being here and seeing it all take shape on the floor. Mm-hmm. So really excited to have you on live here on the show. Thank you to Albert Hall, Ryan, everyone that helped us get this studio and be able to do this. So really appreciate you coming on, and so happy we got to do this.
Absolutely, thank you, John.
Thanks for listening to Gen Z Hoops. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all major social media platforms at Gen Z Hoops. You can tune in and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and every other podcast platform on the planet. Get ready for the next episode.